think sometimes it does make a mockery of it. It's not the best impression that people get about the sport, but.
Pro boxing fans here in Manchester, we're at the VIP gym with Jack Catterall. Jack, always good seeing you. This time, preparation for another big fight to get to the top. Let's talk about yourself first of all. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Yeah, all is good. In the gym, training, keeping busy, excited. Now it's 7 weeks on Saturday, so all is going to plan.
Fighting a very experienced fighter, people in the world know him as a former champion, but Jorge Linares, somebody who's been on these shows for a few of our fighters as well. What do you make of Jorge at this stage of his career?
Yeah, listen, I've made no mistake. He's probably a different version to the Jorge you could see 5-10 years ago. But nevertheless, I'll have my hands full with him. We've seen of recent. He's had thought you was looking and you was making me paranoid. He's had a couple of losses of recent, but you kind of. I mean, I'm not reading into it too much, but his social media, he looks banged up for the fight. I know he's in Vegas training with Salas, and he said a few things on social media that makes me think he's coming over for the win. So, doing my best to prepare to stop that from happening.
Obviously, Jorge Linares' best days were with Salas. I think he sort of went away, did a few things in Japan and stuff. Then now reunited. It seems like from what you're saying, he's got that fight in his belly again. Just talk to me about yourself though. How much are you up for this fight? Because you know that you're not that far from the top boys. We're talking about the Regis Prograis. We're still waiting for him and Haney to fight, but there's motion there right now.
Yeah, of course. Listen, it's all well and good looking at the other guys now. Me, Jamie, Sam, my manager. We knew that after the fight in May, it was important to get a date again after the last couple of years of inactivity, and there was no champions sort of available to fight, which would have been nice to get a shot at the world title. But when the fight was proposed, I'm not in a position to turn down any fights. Linares is a great name, former 3-weight world champion, so it's exciting. And like you just said, he's been over here on these shows a couple of times. He's picked up all the wins, so it's down to me now to finish that run.
Jack, are you enjoying this time now? You're headlining shows on big platforms where you thought, you know what, you should have been a good couple of years ago, but you know what, we leave the past to the past. But are you enjoying this period that you're in, that you're finally getting to headline your shows? You've got fans coming out that have been sat at home for a while, that have been wanting to watch you live. Finally, you're there. Yeah,
everything for a reason, I believe, and I'm here now, and this is what was written for me and where I should be. So it's exciting. Like you said, I'm headlining this next event in Liverpool. There's a great stacked undercard of good up-and-coming fighters. I'm fighting a legend in Linares. I'm going to beat Linares, and we're going from there.
Going on from there, there is obviously the Regis Prograis fight that everyone was talking about. Obviously, he's looks like there's going to be the Devin Haney fight. There's still Devin Haney still to sign his time from what we're hearing. What happens in that fight though, if they do share the ring?
Yeah, interesting fight. Haney looks like a big 135 fighter coming up to 140 to fight Regis. Regis, we know, is strong at 140. Didn't look the best in his last performance. Interesting fight, really. It'd be quite a close fight, if I'm honest. I probably couldn't pick a winner for it.
Could it?
No.
It is a 50-50 fight for sure. What did you make of Haney's performance against Lomachenko last time around? Because there was a lot of people for Haney and for Lomachenko. How did you see that one?
Yeah, I think it all comes down, and I mean it shouldn't do, but what the people like to see in the fights, I thought the clean work was probably from Haney, but some of the rounds you couldn't argue with them either way. So it's I mean it's an interesting one.
Before I do let you go, I do want to quickly talk about other things in boxing. We saw Alexander Usyk defend his 3 heavyweight belts against Daniel Dubois. A lot of talk about this fight. I do want your sort of thoughts on it. First of all, after the fight, we saw that Daniel he never got up for the 10 count, and certain fighters that have left the sport now, Tony Bellew, saying, listen, I think he quit, like Kell Brook did a couple of years ago. Do you feel like when you watched it that you felt like a fighter quit in that ring?
You know what, he was fighting for the 3 world titles and Ring Magazine belt, and I mean, we say it, but you prepared to like get carried out of that ring. And for me, after the body shot, low blow, however you break it down, it was below the belly button. Is it deemed as low? Or I know it wasn't low right in there, but I thought he should have targeted the body straight away and gone straight after him. Obviously, was hurting him to the body, and then after, was it round 9 or 10 with like the hook jab that he caught him with, I watched it and I said the same thing. He got to his knees in 2 or 3 seconds and kind of like, he'd been beat up for 10 rounds. I think his only chance then was to go out and try and land that big punch, which he couldn't find.
What do you make of the narrative then that Daniel Dubois should be the new heavyweight champion of the world? Obviously, there's a lot of other play that if Usyk had got a 10 count, that he would have got up. Obviously, he stayed down for 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes because he was allowed to do so. But what do you make of that narrative that people are pushing that Daniel Dubois should be the new heavyweight champion of the world?
Yeah, of course, it's frustrating to him, and obviously he felt like he landed a great body shot, which it's not down for me to decide whether it was a body shot or a low blow, but you've got to look at the other 9.5 rounds. He was getting outboxed, he was getting beat up, and ultimately I think he spewed it a little bit, but I do think he should have gone after that body, after that, targeted the body. It was obviously having the success and it obviously hurt Usyk, so it was frustrating to see, and then obviously when he got counted out, it wasn't like he was bashed up bad. It'd have been nice to see him get up and have a little go with it.
A quick couple of things before I let you go. Crawford versus Spence, we know what happened the first time around. We just spoke to Crawford's trainer, Bomac, and he's saying, listen, we have activated that rematch clause. What happens in that rematch?
You know what, I can't see it going any different. Maybe the size is the rematch at 154 now. Is that what they've said, yeah?
Yeah, so from what they've said, yeah, Errol's activated.
Nice, so the rematch, and see, I don't think it's going to be, I think it will be better for probably Crawford as well. I know he's come up through the weights, but I can't see it being too much of a different fight from the first time round.
Fair enough. Final one for myself, Tyson Fury, Francis Ngannou. Is that something you'll be watching, or is that something you'll just leave for the highlights?
Yeah, I'll probably just pick up the phone and watch the highlight reels of it. It doesn't over-interest me. I wish Fury all the best and get back in the ring and have a proper boxing match with some of the champions. That'd be nice to see.
Well, finally, before I let you go, you're a proper boxer, been in the gym, grown up the hard way, gone through the small holes to this point. What do you make of this scene, KSI, Tommy Fury? We see what happened in the press conference, John Fury flipping tables. What's your thoughts on that scene?
You know what, I've not paid too much attention to it. You can't deny people going out earning a living for the sport. I think sometimes it does make a mockery of it. It's not the best impression that people get about the sport, but you know what, that's none of my business. I'm in here, I'm training for Linares, and that's my only focus right now.
Jack Catterall, always a pleasure talking to yourself, sir. No doubt we'll speak to you closer to the fight and on fight week in Liverpool. Yeah, and good luck with everything, and hopefully we'll see you then. Top man.
Thank you very much.